So tip number 4 is to job shadow and really get involved in the dental field. So, I mean, this is something that you want to do for the rest of your life. By getting involved in the dental field, whether it's, shadowing a local dentist or shadowing specialists in the dental field, it's going to look really good on your application, and it's going to show that you really are wanting to get involved and you really want to learn what kind of profession dentistry really is. So that is tip number 4, is to job shadow and get involved in the dental field. So tip number 5 is take the DAT 1 year before you hope to enter dental school. So I took the DAT after my junior year, before my senior year. Okay, so I took it before I went into my senior year because I was applying that summer before my senior year. So the calendar for dental school and applying for dental school is you have to get everything in a year before your anticipated incoming year. So it's a year-long process. It's not like you could apply the summer of your senior year and you start that, that August, that September. That's not how dental school works. Everything has to be in the year before you start. So that's another thing to keep in mind. That's why I highly emphasize on keeping track of your school requirements, staying on track of everything, because literally after your junior year, that summer before your senior year or your final year, or if you're going back to school, it's just you're applying a year before you get in. So make sure you have a lot of your things lined up. So that's my tip. So that means that you should start studying for the DAT that summer. I dedicated 2 months for studying for my DAT, and I did it right after I finished my junior year of college. And I studied, I was Monday through Friday, and some days I was off, from 9 to 5, 9 to 4, just in the library studying DAT, DAT, DAT. And I might do like how I studied for the DAT and what I used. I might do a video on that. But yeah, so make sure a year ahead you take your DAT. That's a really good strategy. And also with that, make sure that you apply early. That's another strategy. And I'll actually talk about that as one of my other tips. So tip number 5 is take your DAT a year early, a year ahead. And that way you also know if you take it in the beginning of the summer, it's just like a buffer. It gives you more time. Instead of waiting till the last minute and then you miss the deadlines, or, you're rushing to study and you're not really, getting the most out of your study time. So tip number 6 is make sure you develop good relationships with those that could help you with your letters of recommendation. And this is something I started thinking about my freshman year of college. So that way I knew, like, okay, I'm really good, I'm developing a good relationship with this professor, and to kind of maintain that relationship. Or I've been shadowing this dentist for this long and they know I want to go into dental school. Like, it's just a great way to just kind of keep track of people that believe in what you want to do, and they'd be willing to write you letters of recommendation. I know that's one thing a lot of people struggled with during application, was who's going to write my letter. Because you need, at least the school I applied to, you need 2 letters from faculty that are science majors. So that's another reason why you need, if you're not a science major, you need to really be thinking about that. So you need 2 letters from science faculty, 1 letter from non-science faculty, so that's English professor, arts, anyone, and then you need a potential 4th letter from anyone, and I got a dentist who I was shadowing to do it for me. So that's 4 letters, that's 4 relationships, and it's not like you could just randomly be like, oh, can you write me a letter? And they're like, what? Who are you? What? So that's something to really be mindful of. Really, really develop good relationships as you go about through your academic career, because letters of recommendation, it's something you want to keep in mind. And you can even ask ahead of time. Maybe you're a sophomore, or you're just asking early. It's not really the application cycle, but you're just like, hey, when time comes, would you be willing to write me a letter of recommendation? And a lot of people, you know, would be willing to do that. So that's something to keep in mind. And also make sure you know your school's requirements on letters of recommendation, or the schools you're applying to. That way you can keep in mind, like, this school requires 3, this school requires 4, blah, blah, blah. Because each application for each school might be different. So that's why you should always keep the school requirements in mind. So number 7 is participate in your prospective dental school's activities if you're close enough. I lived an hour away and went to school an hour away from the dental school that I'm currently going to. So it was right here. And they did an event called Dental Day for undergrads or high schoolers, people that wanted to go into dental school and dentistry. And I went to that every year, and I really got to know, like, the dean, and I got to know your student affairs professors and stuff like that. So it really helped me to really, you know, become a familiar face, and it really helped me to see, wow, is this really what I want to do? Do I really want to come here? Do I really want to become a dentist? So if you have an opportunity, even if your, you know, dental school that you're looking into doesn't do that, you can always call and maybe see if you can do a tour, or they have other things that you can get involved in. It's a great way to really get your foot in the door. So that's one really helpful strategy, I would say, is just participate in the activities that, you know, prospective dental schools have, if it's feasible. I know some people in my class are from, like, the West Coast, and coming all the way here to the Midwest was not feasible until they were getting interviewed. So yeah, that's something, just a suggestion. If your prospective dental school does offer those activities for undergrads, take advantage and really go if you can. Number 8 is super important. Apply early. Get your application in early. Let me say it again. Get your application in early. It's a great way for these schools to see you first, because dental school is very, 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 very competitive. And I think it's actually more competitive than medical school at the moment, because there's way less dental schools, way less incoming classes than medical schools. And at least in my state, there's 3 medical schools, one of which their entering class was 300 people. So there's 3 schools. One school has 300 people that enter. The other schools probably have maybe 100, maybe a little less, I don't know. And then there's only one dental school in my state, which only allows 104 people. The odds are way less, and that's why I think right now dental school it's really competitive. So if you can do anything to help yourself be the first to be looked at, do it. So that goes along with taking the DAT early, getting your recommendation letters early, finishing your requirements early, maintaining good grades, getting involved, blah, 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 blah. Just getting your application done early. That way, when the application window opens, you're one of the first. I got my application in within a week of it being within a week of the window being open, and I know that was one way that really helped me get into dental school, was because the dental school saw me first, and, you know, they didn't have a lot of people to compare me to yet. Not that I'm a bad applicant, but it's like, they're like, oh wow, yeah, let's get her in here, let's get her interviewed. So that's a great strategy. Apply early, because not only does it help them see you first, it shows that you're really, really wanting this and that you're really serious. So apply early. If anything, apply early. Like, that's a huge way to really help yourself. Number 9 is meet with your advisor at the end of each semester. And I know for some people, like, your advisor may not be super beneficial, or you may feel like you're hearing the same stuff over and over, but it's just about that relationship and maintaining, you know, that connection. For me, I use my advisor as one of my recommendation letters, and that really helped, because since I was a freshman up until my senior year, we talked about dental school. She helped me. She told me when to apply, where to go. She kept me up to date on the requirements. So I did that on my own, but she really helped me maintain those requirements in my mind. So that's a great strategy. So keep a good relationship with your academic advisor, because they really want you to get into dental school. And if you feel as if maybe your advisor isn't really helping you or being helpful, then see if you can get another advisor or focus more on your chair advisor. Like, I'm a biology major, so the advisor for that is different than my pre-dental advisor. But I went to my pre-dental advisor because that's just what I preferred. So just find an advisor, and really try to maintain a relationship and see how much they can help you with your dental school journey and getting into dental school. And number 10 is try again and reapply. Do not give up. Don't give up after one application if you don't get in. Don't chicken out. Like, there were so many people that were like, oh, I'll apply next year. No, like, if you have all your chickens lined up, do it. What's the worst that can happen? You just get waitlisted, which there's people that were waitlisted and they got in, I know that. Or, you know, they don't accept you, but they know who you are. They know that you really want this. So if anything, reapply and do it again. Do not give up. My class, there's people that have reapplied and they're in now. So it does happen. And actually, I almost feel like that happens more than people getting in the first try. And that's why I'm saying don't give up. If this is truly your passion, don't let your first no be the reason you give up. Because there'd be so many people in my class that wouldn't be there. And there'd be so many dentists out in the world who wouldn't be there. So don't give up. Keep applying. Keep trying. Keep building your resume. And just don't give up. Don't give up. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. And I hope it's helpful to you. And if you have any other tips, go ahead and comment below. And if you want any more videos, I think I'm going to do a video on my first year experience, and if I get enough likes or if people are interested, I could do a video on how to study for the DAT and how I studied, and maybe even a National Boards Part 1 study guide tip thing, because I'm actually preparing. I know it's crazy, but I'm actually kind of thinking and starting to kind of prep for taking my first Part 1 boards. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.